had $1 trillion, I'd put away some money for myself and give the rest away, do some research on nonprofits, maybe endow a few schools.
Probably work to create some sort of business or lobby to change policies that disproportionately affect people of color. I'd probably also use the money to probably work globally to dismantle systems of oppression that we've developed as a nation by using its own force, I guess, against it.
I'd probably give it away. I don't really have I mean, I'd probably put enough away for me and my parents to live like relatively okay for a while. I'd pay for Northeastern and that's about it. I'd probably either donate the rest or put it into maybe opening my own school that would be free, because I feel that higher education should be free at this point.
Probably pay off tuition first, because I took out a bunch of loans, and then I guess, I don't know, after that maybe give some money to my family, travel, donate to like a bunch of different organizations, because no one gets money when they actually need money.
Well, other than throwing a great big blowout party that the world's never seen before, let's see. I guess I'd make sure that everybody had an adequate income level of support. So I'd always give it out to people who need it.
I would pick a couple different social enterprises that I think are doing really awesome work and just research them a lot, donate my money to them, and then just exit society for a month and live in the woods.
I'd put it in the bank and just live off the interest.
Probably give the vast majority of it to charities that I would spend a long time researching which good ones were. And then, I don't know, I'd probably buy a sailboat and sail around for a while until I thought of something better to do.
I would set up trusts. I know me and my roommate actually discussed it on this if we won the lottery. We would set up trusts for people, so if people would come to us and begging for money, we would already have a trust for them and donate some of it, use some of it to start up a company. Yeah.
What kind of company?
I don't know. I actually don't know what kind of startup, but something with technology.
I would keep a lot of it, but I think that I would find a way to channel it back into communities to make a difference.
Give it mainly to third world education.
Probably use it to somehow help people, and because $1 trillion is a lot of money. I'd probably keep $1 billion or so for myself and go to nice restaurants and buy nice stuff. But the rest of it I wouldn't really need for anything. So I don't know, give everyone free healthcare or something like that. Because $1 trillion sounds like that would work.
I would probably donate to a water charity because water is really important.
Honestly, I would donate most of it, but then I would obviously keep probably $5 billion, just chill with that and just enjoy. I would pretty much just live the same life I'm living, just make it so I wouldn't have to worry about money.
Well, I would tell my parents that they don't have to work anymore. I would put my friends through college and grad school, the ones that are really struggling. Obviously, I would find really good causes to donate to. And I would do exactly what I wanted to do. Instead of doing a job that made money so that I could survive, I would use my time probably doing things that don't make money, like volunteering at the food bank, or just a job that really pays nothing that I love, like teaching.
So the reason I'm asking you this question is because the United States government is about to spend $1 trillion over the next 30 years modernizing its nuclear arsenal. What are you thinking about that?
Why do we need a nuclear arsenal?
Really?
Seriously, 100%.
It's a bad idea.
Oh, really?
Legit.
Okay, I'm a bit surprised. I thought I'm kind of against it because I'm in Pakistan and the nuclear thing I don't think has really worked as a deterrent. So I don't think it's a good idea. I think the US should be a leader in terms of trying to get other countries to abolish their nuclear programs and help, rather than investing into its own.
What are your thoughts?
Mixed. I have I'm from a family of military people. My grandfather was a colonel, and my other grandfather served in World War II and worked for the State Department his entire life. Obviously, nuclear warheads are a bad thing, and I don't think we should be able to say who has it and who doesn't internationally. That's going off topic from the question. But $1 trillion in the grand scheme of things of the American budget is hefty, but not really that. If it's spent over a period of time, I don't think it's that much money.
Sounds a little like a waste of money, a little, but I'd have to see the data. I mean, the United States government actually has a lot more than $1 trillion around, so they could be using other money that they have to do all the goals that they have, or that they don't really have. But it's not necessarily wrong that they're spending money on this. They have to look at the data. In the first question, I was the only one that had the $1 trillion and no one else did. In this case, the government actually has a lot more than $1 trillion that it can use for a bunch of things.
I think it depends on the, well, you have to like allocate that over 30 years as an annuity. So like almost like a mortgage. So you have to figure out what that comes out to be every year in terms of interest. And I don't know, it might be way smaller than we think about it actually. It could be just like, I don't know, it could be like a $30 million a year, something like that. Even without interest, it could be very low. So I think nuclear weapons are from a public policy perspective, are important because there's a threat deterrent, and so if we don't have a strong enough nuclear program, then we can't prevent the usage of nuclear weapons. And I'm very much against the use of nuclear weapons, but I think that given that there are others who could use them, that it's important that there be a counterbalance to that. And so I think it might be okay, actually, which surprises me because I didn't think that I thought that my answer would be that's terrible, but it's actually not that, now that I've talked it through.
That's shocking. I know we spent on nuclear weapons. I wasn't sure of the exact amount, so that's that's extremely troubling, especially in this day and age. So if we got rid of nuclear weapons, we'd have $1 trillion to address social needs, poverty, cleaning up the environment, having adequate education and infrastructure. As Rachel Maddow would like, she's a big fan of the building our roads and bridges. I understand, and whatever else needs to be done to make our economy a little stronger, our society healthier and better off.
See, I would use the $1 trillion to create something actually important, like AI or medical or something, not military. I don't know what they're gonna use the military for.
Okay. What are your thoughts on that?
If we're not, we shouldn't really be using nuclear weapons because there's just no need for that kind of power, because once you start using them, everyone gets hurt by it. So I don't think that much money should be going toward that.
Oh, that's awful. We don't need more nuclear arms. We already have way too many, and all of the ones that we have are already mismanaged. I don't think we need more nuclear weapons. So.
What do you think of that?
I definitely think that the military-industrial complex is really serious. If you listen to maybe Eisenhower's closing State of the Union speech, he kind of talks about how the American government benefits quite a lot from military, both economically and policy-wise, especially when we look at the end of Bush and a few other things. And I don't think that it needs to be that much money at this point. We're already ahead, Jamal. We're already so far ahead of everyone behind us. So that's not a good use of money.
I think it sucks. I think that wow, huh?
Yeah.
It's horrible. I think that the energies are in the wrong place. I think that when I think about stuff like that, I think about, well, they're taking $1 trillion for this, but where are they taking it from? What's suffering? And what's going to suffer is social programs. Educational programs will suffer. family and summer job for kids will suffer. Infrastructure and education will suffer. I mean, why don't we take some of that money and at very minimum get everyone to at least a 2-year college, at least an associate's degree, and then after that they're on their own. But put some of that money in education.
Yeah, that. No, I'm all for just total nuclear disarmament.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I know it's like very politically complicated. There's a lot of reasons why it's difficult to like get other countries to do the same, but the fact that we're currently like putting so much money into research and creating new, more tactical nuclear weapons is absolutely absurd.
All right. Woo.
Well, personally, I think it's kind of like a two-way street, right? At the same time, we need to modernize our arsenal just because of the fact I believe in, MAD, which is mutually assured destruction. So the fact that we're able to, one, modernize our arsenal so we can keep up kind of this I'm not really a realist, but it's just kind of this power play between us, so we're not actively, have no incentive to use these nuclear weapons in the first place. But secondly, I mean, I really, when I voted for Obama in 2008, what I wanted to do was I wanted him to bring down the entire nuclear arsenal. And I mean, he's taken steps to do that, but to spend $1 trillion obviously is not taking steps to do that any further.
It's a terrible idea. It's an absolutely terrible idea. If you're going to put $1 trillion, an unfathomable amount of money into anything, make it education. Absolutely.
For real. What do you think about that?
That doesn't sound like a very smart investment to me. I feel like violence is never really the answer, so as to why we're putting so much money into weapons when we could really just put it back into education or other global brigades that we could do that would address these sort of issues in a non-violent way, I think would be much more effective and also much less dangerous.